feel about this stuff. They say, well, the world is overpopulated. I tell them, go out and sign a petition then. Tell them you want to be the first one to go.
Yeah, I know. Bill Gates, right? He thinks it's a great idea.
Yeah.
He should sacrifice his children, I guess. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I wish Bill and Melinda would take their own vaccination for a change. Hey, thanks again for taking my call. God bless both of you and what you're doing.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Jerry. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You have you told me about an activist that showed up at one of your meetings, Kirk Lanius.
That's right.
He spoke to the Activists for Truth about his recent COSPA meeting with Sheriff Richard Mack. What can you tell me about that?
Well, Kurt Lanius came to us because, like I was saying before, we had a pretty big, active Ron Paul group. So he was running against a very liberal, non-constitutional sheriff in Dallas County. And he came to us, and he was sweating because he wanted our support. He had looked into Oath Keepers. He was carrying Oath Keeper cards, and he had the basic idea of the thing, but he really wasn't, someone who had really looked into it and was committed. So we schooled him a little about the process here, and since then, it's been a couple of years now, right? He's really a very strong activist, and he understands the importance of having a very good sheriff in your area. The sheriff is the highest, when I say things wrong. By the way, a disclaimer here, I'm just a person. I say things wrong. I use the wrong words. I don't remember dates and times perfectly. And that's why I have all my friends around to help me, correct me when I'm wrong. But basically speaking, the sheriff can not follow through with an unlawful federal order, of unconstitutional. Oh, well, actually, anybody that takes their oath of office is not supposed to follow through with an unconstitutional order because it's against their oath of office. Mm-hmm. Well, the sheriff can literally take that to the point of if something comes down and somebody's house is going to be foreclosed or this or that, they can stop those actions because they're a very high office in I'm stumbling now because once I screw up, I get embarrassed.
No,
the deal of it is, Sheriff Mack, Richard Mack from Arizona, had fought the government to the Supreme Court level, and he won. So since then, he has been a very big proponent for police officers and sheriffs and anybody that's taken their oath to understand how important it is and how it can help turn things around. It's a line in the sand. It's a defense that we have, but we have to elect good sheriffs. And so he was running for office. So we get to meet him, and we know him now. Well, just a week ago, I think it was 10 days ago, in Las Vegas, they had their yearly conference, and they get good people there to explain about, the Constitution and what the issues that are going on. And, for example, that Sheriff Finch in Florida, who stood up properly and defended that person that had a gun in their car and how all that went down, even though the governor of Florida was on his back and he got suspended and everything, he did the right thing. Well, I believe he was at the convention, and, a lot of good people that are standing up, but we need more.
Right.
So he came and gave us information about what had happened at the conference and how it's moving forward.
Good.
Yeah.
And it's, I'll tell you, more people have to get involved.
Yes.
And it's a very good exercise. It gets the blood moving. It gets the mind moving. People are sitting around lamenting about what they see around them. Pick a target.
Yes, you're right.
I've once heard it said, "Don't worry, we've got them now. They're on all sides. They can't get away."
That's funny.
So,
that's funny. I hadn't heard. I can visualize it, and it might be true.
we're not surrounded. The enemies came to us. So
right.
pick your target and
make it a positive thing.
There you go.
Like I told you before I got on the air, I am an optimist and I am a Pollyanna, which is kind of surprising with all that I've grown up with and all that I've known for a very long time. But that's because we can push back. I mean, the CONCON in I think '82 or something like that. Mm-hmm. It was right at the point of having the 33 states, and it was John Birch that went into Georgia, and they got it turned around and exposed with the Eagle Forum. Eagle Forum always used John Birch Society stuff, but
never really gave credit for it.
No, they didn't. They kind of were they were the pretty women all dressed up, and everything. But they got the information and they moved it forward, and I always respected them for that. But I always wished they would do a little more in being obvious, but that's okay. At least the job got done. And
well, you'll be happy to know that Phyllis Schlafly didn't back Ron Paul. She was actually backing John McCain.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And I was like, really, Phyllis? Come on, man. And she says, no, we've got to put somebody up there that's recognizable that has a chance to win.
Yeah, well, he's recognizable. He's a traitor, and he's been around a long time.
Yes,
he has
been.
You can find him in pictures with the enemy all over the place.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, one thing before I let you go here.
Sure.
Okay, can people call you to talk with you to get a feel on how to set these things up?
Yes. I have never been really afraid of exposing, how to reach me, because as we know now, I mean, the NSA, everybody has all our information. But, my name is Regina Imburgia, Imburgia, and my email just has a dot between the first name and the last name, and I'm at gmail.com. And I also have a phone number. It's a Dallas phone number, 214-597-5038. And yes, we take on all kinds, like Pete Sessions is my congressman. Pete Sessions is the chairman of the Rules Committee, and that's a very high office in the Republican Party because they can block bills coming to the floor for passage, discussion, whatever. Well, Republican Representative Frank Wolf from Virginia, had put forward a Resolution 36, House Resolution 36, to have an independent investigation of Benghazi. Well, that's been sitting on the desk now for 11 months. And I mean, it's been over a year since September 2011 that Benghazi fiasco happened, and there was never a complete investigation.
Right.
Well, he's my congressman. I'm in his district, and he knows me well. And so we take him on big time, and we're trying, to expose him for what he is, because he's moving up the chain. I mean, I wouldn't doubt when Boehner's out, he's moving in, because he's been paying his dues up the line.
Yeah.
And we have to keep fighting back. So we fight back on political issues, too. But health issues, the GMO, in Dallas, we had 1,500 people, and we get together those marches.
Hang on 1 second. I've got a break. Hang on.
Do you love America? Do you support the right to bear arms? Do you have an opinion on the current immigration issue? Do you believe in the dollar? You have a voice. You have an opinion. Let it be heard. Go to AmericanFreedomSurvey.com right now and make your voice count. Do you like your rights taken away for the so-called sake of public safety? Do you want to repeal Obamacare? Go to AmericanFreedomSurvey.com today and fight back. All you have to do is fill out a short survey, and you're done. Simple, easy, fast. For your time, you get entered to win free gold and silver. That's right. Get gold and silver free by filling out this short survey that enters you to win. AmericanFreedomSurvey.com. Go to AmericanFreedomSurvey.com today. That's AmericanFreedomSurvey.com.
Whew, nice shooting. Hey, that's a sweet AK-47 chest rig. Is that multicam?
Yep, got it from StrikeHardGear.com.
Strike what?
StrikeHardGear.com.
Set your sights on StrikeHardGear.com. Tough, tactical gear for your Soviet-style weapon that's made in the USA. Affordable, plus a no-questions-asked 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime replacement warranty. StrikeHardGear.com. Go ahead. Pull the trigger.
Are you prepared? Really? Are you prepared? Times aren't getting any better. Everything everywhere is getting tighter. Time for you to look out for the ones you care about. AmericanSurvivalWholesale.com has everything you need for any event that might come your way. First aid kits, camping gear, training books, self-defense equipment, long shelf-life GMO-free storable food. AmericanSurvivalWholesale.com has it all. Veteran-owned and operated. AmericanSurvivalWholesale.com is here for you.
Herbal Healer Spring Sale. 500 parts per million colloidal silver, all sizes. COQ10 with hawthorn, glucosamine chondroitin, sea cucumber, colloidal minerals, superfam and super male plaques, colon enhancer, our top selling liquid, Cal Mag Vitamin D, MSM sulfur capsules, and elderberry power capsules. We also offer certificate correspondence courses in natural medicine. Free memberships and free online newsletters also available at herbalhealer.com. Herbal Healer has been serving the natural medicine industry for 25 years. This is a company you can count on. Visit herbalhealer.com today. herbalhealer.com. That's herbalhealer.com.
This is Dr. Robert Rowan here to give you an important message regarding stem cell treatment. World-renowned physician, stem cell expert, and friend Dr. David Steenblock has performed over 8,000 stem cell treatments since 2001. Bone marrow stem cells are completely legal to do here in the USA. The bone marrow stem cell treatment is not only fast, done in less than 2 to 3 hours, but is relatively pain-free and has little to no recovery time. Dr. David Steenblock and his office are able to help and treat patients who suffer from cerebral palsy, traumatic brain injury, stroke, macular degeneration, arthritis, Parkinson's disease, congestive heart failure, and more. Personally using their services for my knee and seeing great improvement, Dr. David Steenblock is highly recommended by me. Go to stemcellmd.org or call 800-300-1063 to find out more. Again, stemcellmd.org or call 800-300-1063 today to receive more information.
Wasn't that the idea when we started out at school? That's what they said the Constitution was about. Wasn't that the idea?
We are back. Let me snag one more call here. Indiana. Harley in Indiana. Hello, Harley.
Hello, John. How are you doing?
Good, sir.
Oh, that's great. I hope this young lady's doing fine also.
Thank you.
Well, I called because you mentioned the John Birch Society in 1984 and back in here. And I just wondered if you were privy to Archie Bald Roberts with the Committee to Restore the Constitution.
I don't remember that name or think of that name, but if anybody's trying to restore the Constitution, it sounds good.
Well, this was, he's been around since the 70s.
I'm horrible with names. That's something people get to know about me, so I'm sorry. It doesn't ring a bell. I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine. In May of 1980, in his bulletin, he says, "Say no to the New World Order." And he goes into regionalism and the breakdown of local government. But in 1984, March, he visits the new state's constitution, revisited. And he goes into it. And I actually had a copy of the new state's constitution sent to me by my senator. I believe it would be the gentleman, Senator By. Of course, not the youngster, but the old man.
Mm-hmm. I saw that as well, and if you remember how that read, at first glance, you thought you were looking at the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, except for one main difference. Your rights were granted to you by the states and revocable by the states.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it said such things as, like, on gun control, that you have the right to bear arms except where prohibited by law.
That's right.
It was basically a copy of the Constitution for the Soviet Union.
Well,
there you go.
And isn't it fascinating that the Rockefeller Foundation put up the money for that?
Yes, they did.
And that was released in our bicentennial year, 1976.
You're correct.
Yep.
That's when it was.
Yeah.
And I heard about it, and I wrote to my senator, and I'm positive Senator By at the time. As you know, it's been 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And he sent me a copy, and I had a letter that said exact that, and I was heavily involved in the American Party. You hear the American Party?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, I was state chairman for the state of Indiana in the Youth Federation. Don Lee was murdered in Indiana in 78 or 79. They killed him. And but yes, I wrote him a letter, and we went to the city council in Crown Point, and I, like a dummy, didn't realize any better. And we talked to the mayor about it.